Well, this one actually does run, but only on choke. As soon as you take it off choke, it'll die. Believe it or not, this thing's only got 74 hours on it. You got to see this. Come on in here. 74 hours. Look at that. Isn't that nice? I know you're saying no way. Well, yep, 74.2. Can't read the last number. Well, y'all know the deal. Welcome back to Rayleigh's Small Engines. I'm T-Bone, your Get to the Point channel. Let's get this out of the way. Well, you know what I always say, start with simple things first. Let's just take a little look at the air filter. It's a little dirty, it's not terrible. That isn't causing the surging. Those of you who don't know, there's a pre-filter in here also. It's actually not terrible. Well, next thing to look at, that filter there looks pretty dirty. But what we're going to do, we're going to go right here to the carburetor and let's pull our fuel line off and see how good a fuel we're pumping. Alrighty then. Pop this loose. Oh, she's pumping fuel. Looks like it. It's leaking out anyway. All right, let's hit that key, see what's going to happen, Captain. Oh yeah, she's pumping fuel, but good. Oh look, it's a Nikki. Great. Right now I'm just pulling these couple screws out to get this fuel pump out of the way. And what I'm gonna do is pop this engine cover off. It's only a couple of bolts. Now I'll pop those 2 bolts out of this fuel pump, and that's to make it easier to get to the other engine cover bolt back here. So I'm gonna take this one out, one on the other side. Looks like he's missing one on the front, and I'll take that one out. We'll pop this cover off. Some of these, you don't even have to take them all the way out because they're notched. This one, you have to take them all the way out. But one other note to take, these shoulders. See how long the shoulders are there and how short the shoulder is there? The short goes in the front of the engine, the long shoulder in the back. Remember that. Now there is like a little O-ring right there on that elbow, little wiggle jiggle. That's out of your way. So I am going to go ahead and clamp this line because sometimes it'll siphon if there's a lot of gas in there. I don't know how much gas is in this one. Next, we're going to go right here. You see where I'm at? Going right here and take your fingers and just push that breather off. So now there's 2 nuts here on this elbow. Some people like to take them off, take the whole intake off. I don't, because you got to take this all apart anyway. Or that's how I like to do it. You do it how you want to. Now that's out of the way. That was 7/16, 8 millimeter or 5/16 now. Oop, let me unplug the solenoid down there. That's all I did, real simple there. Now I got something else I need to show you. Let's see if that'll stay right there. All right, so all we're gonna do now, I'm gonna go ahead and get my screws out of the way. Take the carburetor. What you're watching for is this choke lever on this side. And all you're gonna do is turn it, paying attention. You see that little groove it stays in? Turn it around like this. It's on the very end hole. Take that out. Now I'm going to continue turning it on around and see how I lean it over, pop that one out. And then your spring, your carburetor is out. What you didn't see me do was unplug the solenoid right there. Some of these are really, really close in here. I got a 1/2 inch wrench. I just ground it down where it's really thin. This one actually takes a 12. Now, as we're taking this thing apart, take your time, because what we want to do is look for what is actually causing that problem. So we'll do it one step at a time. I'm gonna hold the carburetor here and just like that. We'll screw this solenoid off. This is going to give us an indication of what the inside of the carburetor looks like. Nice and rusty. And someone has already cut this solenoid off. So it's not doing a thing now, is it? Now I'm going to Phillips screwdriver, pop these loose. Sometimes these things are really tight and you have to take needle nose vice grips and get on there to break these loose. Slide these out and come out of there. Ooh, look, my O-ring gasket, look at that thing. Golly. No wonder it only run on choke. This should slide off way easier than it is. Yeah, look at that gasket right there. Super glue that back together, huh? And see, there's a little tiny jet right there. Your emulsion tube, and there's holes there. And most likely something is stopped up here. Inside of this piece is your main jet. And the way it comes out, you just poke it and it comes out. But I see all kind of trash in here. So let's take this main jet out. Let's see if this will do it. Not quite. Give me a little stabby tool here. Now, the way this goes back in, it goes in that center hole, the big hole right there. It's going to be hard to see. Goes in just like this. All right, there's a few reasons these carburetors tend to leak. What I'm doing, I'm just going to get this gasket out of the way here. One is this O-ring right there. Two, this float. This one's not doing it, but most of them, they'll bottom out and you have to heat this up with a heat gun and bend this float back up. It's going to mess up again. And then the needle in here, the rubber tip needle, you'll have to replace that. Now the kit you need for this, some people have said, oh, you can get that O-ring at Harbor Freight or in an assortment or whatever. I haven't found one that the right size is. The correct thing to use is a 698-781. It has the O-ring and this little funny looking guy here. That's how that gasket's supposed to look, plus this O-ring. Torch tip cleaners, let's see what'll fit. I'm looking for, yep, that one's got dirt in it. I could feel it because it kind of popped as I went through the little hole. Look at there, yeah, stopped up. Can't suck any fuel. Let's do another one. Yep, that's got stuff in it too. And I'm not opening these holes up. I am just, all I'm doing is these little torch tip cleaners have got little tiny files on them. And the point's not to file it open, it's just to clean it better, more gooder. Now I'm gonna take the main jet. This bigger file should work. But what we're gonna do this up. There's another hole here. And just kind of, just stick it everywhere, it don't matter. And we're gonna do a little brake cleaner, if I can find it. Here it is. Shoot in all these little holes here. And then we're gonna blow it out also. A couple on this end right here. Run a little wire in those. Bread tie, you can use a bread tie. That works. Just whatever you got, folks. Little torch tip cleaners are pretty inexpensive. If I can remember, I'll put you a link. See, that one's obviously open. Now I'm gonna take a little shop air and we're gonna blow through all this. You don't want to put all the pressure to it. This little guy here, Let me blow this out. Goodness sakes, it's got trash all over it too. If I was rebuilding a carburetor, yes, it's going to be spotless when I'm done. This thing would get scrubbed down and look like brand and new. Look at there, it fell down in the right spot. I'm going to take a little tiny screwdriver. This dirty, make sure you use a dirty screwdriver. That popped down in there right. Yep, I can see on the very end right there what I'm looking at is popped in there right. Again, I'm not cleaning this up the best in the world just because of what we're doing here. Okay, next. Yep, that's not going to seal good. What you're going to do, take your gasket, put it on here. Set it right up there till you get it in all them little grooves. Now for the O-ring, I like to put a little Vaseline around the edge. So much for the gasket being in the right spot, huh? Okay. I'm going to put a little bit in around here. That's the hole that it goes in. Now if I can dig the little thing out of this doggone package. And we're going to go ahead and I'm going to slide it right down on here also. Just like that. Now I'm going to keep it this way so that my main jet doesn't fall out. And you want to line up that hole with this and that in the center. Okay? And if at first you don't succeed, try one more again. There it goes. She's in. Ooh, now I forgot. Somebody y'all cleaned the darn bowl up. Let me clean this up. I'll be right back with you. Little wire brush. Again, I'm not going for perfect. All right, let's blow this out. Hold your ears, y'all. Muy bueno. Okay, slide that back down. Put a couple screws in. And no, folks, that being cut off will not cause your carburetor to leak. One of those three things I just pointed out, the needle, that float resting down on that plastic base, and then that little O-ring. Those are the three things that causes these Nickies to mess up. And you notice I didn't even pull that out. It don't do much of nothing, no way. Let's pop this on. Okay, a little tiny hole. Hook your spring. Hook the throttle in. That's in. Now this, all you got to do, remember I said the last hole right there. And then in that groove right back there, like I showed you, flip it around, the gasket still looks marvelous, darling, just marvelous. Like a little bit. Start these up. You notice I haven't even put a new fuel filter on yet, but we will when we put the new carburetor on it. What do y'all think? Y'all think it's going to run right now? We're going to find out here in just a second. Hook our fuel back up. Doesn't matter if I plug that solenoid up because it ain't doing nothing no way. It's cut off. All right. Release that. Now so y'all can see we ain't even fool with this any. I'm gonna back you guys up some. Bear with the camera work here, folks. Bear with the camera work. Let's find out what's going to happen, Captain. It's going to take it a second to pump some fuel in that carburetor bowl. All right, so here's what you want. 594, 593. That carburetor will look like this, okay? And you'll notice the only thing holding the bowl on is that solenoid, and the Nikki has the 2 screws that hold the bowl on. You don't want that piece of junk. So let's get this bad boy on. I'm gonna close it to idle. You hear it idling? Hook my spring in the little hole. Hook my throttle majigger in right there. And then we're gonna spin it around. Let's go ahead and we'll hook this choke lever in the last hole, just like that. And then you remember that little groove I showed you? Right in there, just like that. It's done, fired up. Nope, not yet. All right, get our couple of screws. And we're gonna need a new gasket. Y'all stick around. There's a couple more tricks here I've got to show you. Get on the doggone thing. Now, there's a couple of things about this. Let me tighten this down before I forget. And be very careful tightening these up. Use a ratchet because you can wring them off. Now I'm going to snip that line right there. This little tab sticking up right here, right there, that little tab sticking up. On some models, it will hit your blower housing cover. So what I do as a precaution right off the bat, didn't need that anyway. The other thing to watch for is the bottom of this choke flap right here will hit inside of this elbow. And you got 2 choices at that point. You can go right in here with your little Dremel tool or file and file that plastic down till it's almost to that gasket, or you can pull your choke flap out with a pair of pliers and just grind the bottom of this down so that it doesn't hang up on that elbow. All right, let's snip this fuel line off. That looks perfect. I'm just gonna cut the elbow of it off. I did go ahead and, it was off camera, sorry, but I did put a new fuel filter on here. I'm gonna plug this thing up, clamp, hook our solenoid up, maybe. Come on, there we go. All right, so I'm not even gonna stop the camera. Let's see what happens. It's got to pump some fuel up into that carburetor. Come on. Now my battery gonna die. Oh, take the daggum clamp off, stupid. Come on. Come on. Pump that fuel up. Here we go. All my tools are falling. Listen to that thing Cadillac. You might be idle a little bit low. All right, let's fire it up again. She's idled down a little bit too low. So as you can hear, my mic is messing up that close with that noise reduction thingamabob on. All I'm doing is turning the idle up. So we'll turn the volume back on here. Hold on. Boy, she's purring like a kitten now. Y'all stick around to the end of this video. You can see me put it back together. Appreciate you guys watching. Thanks for tuning in to Rayleigh's Small Engines. I'm T-Bone. Y'all click that subscribe button, thumbs up, leave some comments down below. I still want to know what kind of lawnmower you guys have. Have a great day.